All right, so let's set the table. UFC Vegas 89 main event. Amanda Ribas versus Rose Namajunas. Namajunas going up the women's flyweight division from 115 at strawweight to 125 at flyweight. And we're getting ready to see what she can do as this fight's getting ready to be on. And here we go. Both fighters touch gloves. And here we go. Man, Doug Rose looks a lot smaller than Amanda Ribas. 15 seconds into the fight. And it's like she's just so short at flyweight, you know? And you don't see like she adds much weight. It just seems to me like Ribas is more in her comfort zone. This is her division. And I don't see a lot of extra power that would be necessary for Namajunas to come up and get a victory here. But listen, we've been wrong many times before. 4:15 left, round one. And you would think the advantage here would be not for Namajunas to kind of play and look for technique and style points and all that, but she's got to come in and be the faster fighter because you got to figure that Ribas is going to be the stronger fighter. Ooh, and a big right by Namajunas. Come on, Ribas. Ooh, big right there by Ribas, who has the best takedown defense. Well, I'm sorry, fourth, did it say? 88% in women's history. So that means Rose had to stand up and strike with her, and so far it's going pretty well for Rose. But it's 14-12. Ribas in significant strikes right now. She lands a right and a left and a spinning kick. Ooh, and there's a takedown for Ribas. And this is where it'll get interesting. Doug Rose stands right up though, lands a knee. Okay. Now Rose is going to walk her back. Oh, she gets flipped at the last second. Yeah, Rose doing a good job in the clinch. I'm surprised. You know, I thought there'd be a lot of advantages here for Ribas. And Rose showing she can hang tight. Hang tough, I should say, excuse me. And a couple knees here by Doug Rose. Look at this. Now she takes a lead, 18-15 in significant strikes, so she's definitely in the fight. And already showing that she can escape takedowns. Oh, boy. Come on, Ribas. Ribas lands a right. Okay. Oh! Rose lands a stiff left. Man. Come on, Ribas. Clinch up. Okay. Ribas with the takedown. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, and Rose flips it. Are you serious? Rose is on top. Side control. Unbelievable. And this I did not expect. I thought power would lean towards Ribas, even though I know she's not really known for power, more finesse. But you would still think power would lean her way with Rose coming up, but it's not. 1 minute left, round one. And Rose just maintaining this position. Hard to believe. And in these tough fights, especially with Rose moving up, facing a Brazilian at a higher weight class, and as much as I like Rose, I'm going with the Brazilian because I think the Brazilian's usually going to dominate the ground. in most cases. And it's the exact opposite right now. 20 seconds left. And there's a tap. And Rose is going to get out of this, likely win the round. 20-17 in significant strikes, 155 to 18 of control time. And there's the bell, or the horn. And Ribas puts her hands in the air. See, I don't understand why. You just got dominated the last 2 minutes. Yeah, so her corner's telling her, she made some mistakes on the takedown. She lands the takedown, then kind of on the bounce, Rose then gets on top and then holds that for like 2 minutes. 155 to be exact, so. That's a big deal. Gosh, I mean, Rose is impressive, man. Just throughout their career, winning the belt, a lot of fanfare. Now you find yourself fighting in a fight night main event at the Apex. Not a big crowd. Not a normal environment. A tough environment in terms of moving up divisions, and she's doing well. And we're getting a look at the replay here. So Ribas lands a takedown with like a headlock. On the takedown, it gets bounced and flipped, and she finds herself on her back and can't get out of it. Second round underway. And I sure hope we see a finish here. I hope we don't see 5 rounds of this. We need a finish. And as we sit through this, just a breakdown of the women's divisions, right? Rose was up there, champion for a while, at strawweight, 115 pounds. Then you got 125 pounds here, where the fighters are a little bit bigger, have more power. And then you go from here and you go up to women's bantamweight at 135 and you get even more power. A lot of fighters with great takedown defense and good ground games. It just gets tougher and tougher. Obviously, as you go up in weight class here in the women's divisions, and they're all 10 pounds apart. Strawweight, flyweight, bantamweight. 345 left in the round. And both fighters on the feet trading right here. And a nice combination there by Ribas and a spinning back kick. And all of a sudden, it's 28-28 in significant strikes. Very close. And if I'm the coach for Rose, I'm telling her, obviously, her confidence should be through the roof. She's in there battling against a really good flyweight. And she's just got to go on the attack and take this fight over. It could very easily go the other way. Or it could stay like this and be very close. But Rose should be gaining momentum as this fight goes on. Ribas in and out with the jabs. She stands left-handed. Misses on the right jab. Misses again. Rose doing a good job of keeping the head off the center line. Rose lands a right. And it's a very active division. Look at this. Rose lands a takedown. They get right back up. That should be credited as a takedown. We'll see. But, I mean, Ribas was right up. Ribas ranked number 8 in the flyweight division. Namajunas looking to get ranked. Oh, we got a leg lock here. And Rose is in trouble. Rose is in trouble. Ooh, how did Ribas lose that? And to me, Rose's face looked like, oh boy, I'm in trouble here. And suddenly Ribas let's go. Had it locked in and everything. Rose on top of Ribas, kind of with her knees to her stomach, trying to protect herself. 125 left in a round. And I really thought Rose would struggle here. She hasn't. Not only has she not struggled, she should be gaining confidence minute by minute against Ribas. And it's about right. You know, she's a really good strawweight fighter. Ranked second, third, first, somewhere around there. And you go up to, one division, 10 pounds up, flyweight division, and you take on number 8. That's about right. That's about right where it should be very competitive. And that's the way it looks. Namajunas on top, 25 seconds left, round 2. And here we go, folks. We're settling in for what could be 25 minutes. Come out early tonight in the big 3. We get the first fight, boom, first round finish. It's like, okay, here we go. Then we get a decision in the co-main event. And now we're 2 rounds through here in the main event. And again, Ribas putting her hands up. I don't know what she thinks she's accomplishing with that at the end of the round. When her opponent had her on the ground to finish the round. I don't know what she's putting her hands up for. Rose up 48-34. Significant strikes. That was a really good round for Rose. And round 1 was a toss-up. So 355 of control. Courtesy of 2 takedowns from Ribas. So Ribas is getting the takedown. The problem is Rose is flipping the position almost immediately. Really immediately. And then holding that position for the remainder of the round. And Ribas has me really nervous right now. And she's going to make me pay for going against Rose, who I know better than to ever go against. But going up divisions is tough. Both fighters kind of dancing around now, waiting for the start of this round. And here we go. Round 3's underway. And you got another big flyweight division fight next week with Aaron Blanchfield and Manon Fiorot. That's going to be ridiculous. 2 undefeated fighters, at least in the UFC. 6-0 in the UFC. And they call it a title eliminator, but you know how I feel about that. Every fight's a title eliminator. If you lose, you're eliminated from fighting for the title in your next fight. That's every fight. You got to win. And Rose starts it out with a big right hand and a right leg kick. Slow start to this round. First 50 seconds gone and Rose slips. She gets right back up. And I'm pretty sure Rose has had a fight since the Carla Esparza fight, but man, that fight was a bad performance by her. Very slow pace. It's good to see her picking up her pace again. Right now with 57 significant strikes in just over 2 rounds. She didn't have that many in 5 rounds against Esparza. Cost her the belt. Right now she's up 58-41. And if she keeps this pace, she's going to be well over 100. Ribas will be just shy. Or right at it. So the speed is there for Namajunas, right? You move up weight classes, you should be a little faster than your opponent, but your opponent should have more power, more strength. At least that's what we've seen in most cases. Can the fighter in Ribas' position deal with the speed of Namajunas early in the fight? And then if the answer is yes, then they start to take over because of the size as the fight goes on. We've seen that happen and play out time and time again. But it's not happening that way this time. Rose seems just as strong as Ribas. It didn't look that way at the beginning. But it sure looks that way right now. 2:10 left in the third as this fight grinds on. And I fear we're going to a decision in this one unless something happens. Nice takedown there by Ribas. Let's see if she can hold it. She hasn't been able to. Namajunas right back up to her feet. Now they flip again, and a lot of flipping going on the ground. Ribas still has position, but Namajunas stands her back up and walks her to the fence. And this should now be seriously concerning for the corner of Ribas, because even when she lands the takedowns, Rose has the strength to take over the position. And that is not good for Amanda Ribas. Not good at all. Okay, here we go with the takedown again. Now Ribas is on top. Namajunas on her back. Okay, this is the first time we've seen Namajunas struggle. And right now Ribas' arm is free, but Rose Namajunas grabs it quickly and is trying to block her from using it. Now Ribas spins, moves to side control. Half guard applied by Rose. This is the best we've seen Ribas so far in terms of being on top, being able to hold position. And this is what she needed to do early in the fight. Hadn't been able to, and now she's doing it. And boy, when she's on top, she's really pounding away on Rose here. And it stops momentarily. Under 20 seconds now. Big thing for Rose is just to get to the end of the round right now, because she's under a lot of pressure. 10 seconds left. There's a tap. And it looks to me like she's going to make it. But, man, running uphill going into the end of that round. 64-53. Rose still leads in significant strikes. 27-24. Very close. And Ribas keeps doing it. She does this thing where at the end of the round, she just puts her hands up like she won the round every time. And she'd be lucky to win 2 rounds right now out of 3. Just went through a decision right now. I'd say it's a split decision. So this fight's definitely up in the air heading into round 4. You know, we hear Rose's coach telling her kind of what she did wrong and differently in round 3. They kind of allow Ribas to take over at the end of the round. Now Ribas looking very calm in her corner. Her corner sounds a little more positive, which is a good thing for her, where they sounded not too confident at the end of round 2, and they shouldn't have been. As we get to look at the replays here, both fighters just trading. And you finally get the takedown here with the headlock by Ribas, who then starts to really use that free right arm. And that was a concern for Doug Rose. And she ended up grabbing a hold of it, slowing it down. And gets to the end of the round, and that brings us to round 4. I saw this fight coming to a dramatic end in round 1 or 2. It didn't happen. Ribas still 2-1 underdog. It is crazy that Ribas is a 2-1 underdog. I just can't believe it. It's her division. She's ranked top 10 in the world. And yeah, Rose Namajunas is good as a strawweight, but when you move up, it's not easy. And a lot of fighters moving up would struggle in the top 5, and that's why facing number 8, Ribas, is like the perfect fight for Namajunas. It's like, are we a top 10 flyweight as well? That's what we're trying to find out. Some people weighing in saying 30 to 27 Ribas. I don't think Ribas won round 2. There's no way she won round 2. 29-28 maybe. Then you got others like Misha Tate going the other way, saying they like more or less seeing Rose fight and how good she is. So it's very tough to predict how this fight's going to go down if it goes to a decision. And of course, we still got 8 minutes left. Rose Namajunas leads in head strikes 33-31. Significant strikes 71-67, but Ribas is coming back, closing the gap. Now Ribas is starting to faint more, which is important. Yeah, Rose slowing down a little bit. Still landing some punches here and there, but the power's not there. It seems to me like she's breathing harder. And would that weight gain have any effect on this fight? Rose Namajunas lands a takedown here. 2:30 left in the round. Halfway through the round. Ribas on her back. And oh boy. Point of view, Rose, you got to, you're moving up 10 pounds and you find yourself in a potential 5-round main event. And it's like, you got to carry that extra 10 pounds, which is what? 10 pounds out of 125. That's like 85% roughly. So you're putting on 15% body weight or 8% body weight. Somewhere along those lines, that's a lot. For anybody. If you're 180, it's like bumping up to 200. Well, you're going to be tired more and more as the fight goes on because you're carrying extra weight. Haven't seen it just yet for Namajunas. Maybe in the beginning of the 4th round here. But fortunately, she landed the takedown. Has continued to build control time. She's over 6 minutes now. And most of that control time coming on Ribas takedowns that she just flipped. Impressive. Very close fight, ladies and gentlemen. Final minute, round 4. And let us know in the chat how you think this thing's going to go. I mean, to me, Ribas won round 1 and 3. Namajunas won round 2. Namajunas appears to be winning round 4. And then you had the fact that it's Rose Namajunas. Close round, Could you fault the judge for saying, it's a close round? Rose won it. Who knows? 20 seconds left, round 4. We got 1 round left on this card, and we're about to be done. Ribas maintains a full guard through the round, but she's been on her back for a good 2 to 3 minutes. And just not a good look here at the end of this round. And my worry for her is Rose clearly won rounds 2 and 4. Ribas didn't clearly win rounds 1 and 3, although I think she won those rounds. So it should be 2-2 right now. But I did say split decision after 3 rounds because I'm sure there's one judge that gave Namajunas 2 of the 3 rounds and then gave her this one. So if that's right, one judge has already got Namajunas winning. Ribas is going to have to win over the other 2 judges. The third one doesn't matter because I think he's got Namajunas up 3 rounds to 1. But Ribas has got to win this round in both of the other 2 judges' minds to get out of here with a split decision victory. Now Rose yelling, "I'm the best," which is what she was yelling on the way to the octagon. And you got to give her credit. Moving up 10 pounds in weight, which is a lot if you weigh 115 pounds. Might as well double that for most guys, right? 180, go up to 200. That's a lot of weight to carry. But Rose is doing it. Round 5 is underway, and this is an opportunity for her to get ranked in 2 divisions. Oof. Some big leg kicks by Ribas. First 20 seconds here, and the pace definitely picking up, as you would expect in round 5, especially in a round that both fighters need to win. So you got Ribas. Ribas feints. Like, she feints. And Namajunas just throws quick jabs that she's not trying to land. Just trying to keep you off balance. So they're doing it in 2 different ways with the same strategy. 1 minute gone. 4 minutes left in the fight. Ooh, big spinning back fist. Nearly lands for Ribas. But Namajunas didn't even flinch. So as you look at what some of the people think, 39-37, Doug Rose. Yeah. That's the fear. Is Ribas might have already lost this fight if she can't get the finish. Seems like everybody has it 39-37 for Rose. Then you had another guy earlier. After 3, it was 30-27 Ribas. So you just don't know what the heck to believe. I think in some of these close rounds, these judges are going to give it to Rose. I think your big name helps you in those situations. 2:45 left in the fight. And even though it seems like Rose has taken over this fight, especially with the ground game in rounds 3 and 4, even with all that, Amanda Ribas has shot over Rose Namajunas in terms of significant strikes, 87-82. She's up 159-144 in total strikes. Leads in head strikes. The only category she's down is body strikes, and it's 35-19. And she's down in control time. So just a really close fight. But the stats are just the stats. It doesn't always mean the refs are looking at or comparable to the stats. They're watching the fight and giving winners round by round. 140 left in the fight. Ribas' eyes getting big now. She's really trying to pick up the pace, but you also got to be careful of the power of Doug Rose. But Ribas definitely picking up the pace in terms of touching Rose. The other thing I noticed too is that Rose is really slowed down in terms of the striking, in terms of the activity. And again, it's carrying that extra weight will do that to you. 115 left. And Ribas continues to move well. Although it's a close fight, she has done a good job of keeping Rose off balance enough to where she can't keep coming forward. I mean, Ribas is throwing jabs, combinations, spinning back fists, spinning leg kick. Just keeps throwing the kitchen sink at her and just tries to keep her off balance. And it somewhat worked. And she's pulling away now in the striking department. On the verge of 100 significant strikes. Yep, and she lands it. 101 now. Okay, get it round by round. Namajunas led in the first 2 rounds before Ribas has taken over in rounds 3, 4, and 5. But the scoring isn't necessarily going to portray that among the judges, because it doesn't seem that way. It seems like Rose started to pick up her pace in rounds 3 and 4 when, excuse me, on paper, it's the other way. So I don't know, man. This fight goes to a decision, 101 to 86. Amanda Ribas, significant strikes, 175 to 148. Total strikes, she led 53 to 44 in head strikes. Then it goes the other way. Rose, 36 to 20 in body strikes, 7 minutes of control to 140. And as we've seen in almost every other fight, the striking takes over. Even though one fighter gets like 6 to 8 minutes of control time in a 25-minute fight, that doesn't matter. The striking takes over. But when I watched the fight, if I looked at the stats at the end, I would be surprised, because it looked to me like Rose outstruck her, but that's not the case on paper. And a big and interesting decision coming up. Both fighters in the center of the octagon. They're both smiling. Ribas thinks she's got the win. I mean, she looks confident. Namajunas is smiling too, although she looks a little more concerned. And I don't think anyone knows which way the judges are going here, including myself. Here we go. Credit Rose Namajunas regardless. Coming up, fighting very well. Just tough because you're fighting, it's a much bigger fighter. Here we go. Come on. Gosh. 49-46, 49-46, 48-47. Unanimous. Wow. Doug Rose gets the win. No, bro. Wow. The numbers don't indicate that. Dang, bro. But Rose Namajunas gets the win in her second attempt at a women's flyweight division. You know she's got to love this. She's going to be ranked top 10 in 2 divisions. And we fall to 4 and 6 in the main event. Wow. Rose Namajunas is now 13 and 6, women's flyweight division, UFC Vegas 89.